Hey, good Sunday afternoon, everybody. This is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. We have a gorgeous day on tap, a little cooler than yesterday with temperatures generally around 70, 72 degrees today. We were in the mid to upper 70s yesterday. But the concern today is about severe weather down on the Gulf Coast and parts of Texas, Louisiana. That's eventually going to be heading our way tomorrow. Let me show you where we're talking about right now. Here we are. We're basking in a gorgeous day, but this is the big story. This thing is going to be heading our way by this time tomorrow. There is a pretty significant severe weather outbreak which is unfolding right now across areas of Texas, Louisiana. A rare high risk severe weather day, probably significant tornado outbreaks likely in this area. Let me show you real quickly the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today. You see that high risk there in pink. Areas from Lufkin, Alexandria to Monroe, Shreveport, really anywhere in this area could see significant tornadoes. Now the problem tomorrow is going to be, let me turn this off, I'll show you the updated severe weather outlook for tomorrow. Notice how most of the Carolinas are kind of in either the marginal, slight, and enhanced risk. So this is kind of the medium threat for us. And like the last severe weather outbreak, the emphasis is going to be to the south because the low pressure system is actually going to be traveling generally in this direction, but we're going to be close enough late tomorrow that we're going to have the potential for some severe weather. So the severe weather is going on to the west today. Tomorrow that threat is going to be shifting in our direction. You can see we've got several tornado watches in effect. Looks like a tornado on the ground as I'm looking at the radar here. Pretty significant tornado near Mansfield, Louisiana right now. Very nasty storm. So we'll be thinking about the folks there, but we're going to prepare for tomorrow as the system heads our way. So let me turn off everything and kind of show you how things are going to unfold and the timing with all this. This is our short range 3-kilometer NAM, which is really good on the timing and usually location of storms. Sometimes goes a little crazy with the intensity, but this will give you a good idea of the timing. So we'll go out to the future here. And we'll go out till tomorrow morning. We'll go out to 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, Monday morning, and kind of show you where things are set up here. You see the big squall line to the west. This will be a damaging wind threat, maybe even small tornado threat, but what we got to watch during the morning and early afternoon, do we get individual storms developing in this area, which would be supercells? Those would be the ones more of a concern to me for tornadic activity. I think the overall threat still is primarily straight line winds, but I think we're going to have anywhere between a 2 and 5% chance of tornadoes. A lot of folks get really concerned about tornadoes, but remember, you're 9 times more likely to be impacted by damaging straight line winds than a tornado. So just because the tornado threat is small or you're concerned with tornadoes, worry about wind and hail a lot more than tornadoes. We will definitely be on the ball with the tornadoes if they develop, but straight line winds look to be the big deal. So we'll go to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. A couple things to note. Heavy rain will be moving into the mountains again because a strong south and southeast wind is going to develop. So like we saw with the last system, the mountains actually could see a flash flood threat with this system as it approaches during the afternoon. Whoops, went a little too fast there. We'll back up to 2 o'clock again. We'll go to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. You see these cells out ahead? These are the ones in particular down in here. I don't think you have much to worry about here because it should still be pretty stable. It's these storms to the south we got to keep an eye on. So we're out towards, we'll back it up again. Again, this is 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11, whoops, 11 o'clock, midnight Tuesday morning, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So notice that the system is losing a little bit of its steam, but that really the evening hours, if you had to pin it down to one time frame, I really think it's mid-afternoon, like 3 o'clock, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow night that we really got to watch out for. So that kind of gives you the time frame. Just to look at like what kind of CAPE values we have, I'll show you on the model showing how much CAPE we have. You can see further south, CAPE is essentially thunderstorm fuel. Notice how it's much stronger up here and not as much up here. So if we're going to see severe weather, it's right in here where there's going to be the overlap of storms and fuel for those storms. So we'll go through the evening hours and notice you see that the fuel is much deeper to the south, though it does start to expand north up into the foothills. It's really in here that we have to watch for potentially severe storms. If we're going to see tornadic storms, that would be the area. And just to kind of show you, let me see if I can overlay the shear here as well. you could see this area in purple. There's an overlap there of where we've got strong fuel and strong shear. So this is what I often look for. I look for where is that crossover area. And just looking at this real quickly, you can see, I'll go back and forth here, it's areas in South Carolina. So we'll have to be on guard tomorrow. Tornadoes are definitely a possibility, but again, damaging winds would be our primary concern overall, and we can't rule out isolated tornadoes. So another one of those days that you need to be weather aware in the Carolinas, especially from Charlotte south. It'll be a day we'll be watching this, and this may not be the only severe weather threat we have this week. There could be another one at the end of the week as a big cold front and cold air mass heads our way. So I'll be on the ball with this all day today and tomorrow. I'll be on tonight at 6 and 11 on NBC Charlotte, and make sure you stay tuned to my Facebook and Twitter feed. I'll keep it updated over the next 24 to 36 hours. Be safe, enjoy your Sunday, and please be weather aware on Monday.